Zoro,
And we are live.
oh,
Hello.
What's up?
Rose doesn't
Hello.
have to make your displacer beast immortal. Apparently, your family has its own means for doing that stuff.
Oh yeah, we're immortal.
isn't-
We need to keep our pets immortal.
Just turn into a vampire, right?
Vampire displacer
not quite.
beast. No.
Yeah.
Oh my god.
Yeah.
Yeah, but the fangs are just on the tails.
Like every,
They're just-
And now we're
Dangerous
getting Rogan
spikes.
ideas.
I can never get out of my head like vampire beasts, like from fucking the second Blade movie where they have the splayed mouth.
Oh, that was so cool.
Pomeranian.
Those were amazing.
Vampire
Okay,
Pomeranian?
those were freaking great.
You're from
Oh.
Blade Trinity, thank you.
Oh yes, right, yeah.
One of them went down a staircase.
It's been a long time. I'm old.
No,
My
that was an
memory-
elevator.
But still,
That was
you know.
that was the same one where they decided that Triple H should make a good vampire. So
He does make a good vampire.
He does.
I mean,
yeah,
not bad.
I mean, him and his silver coated fangs.
True.
So dumb.
look, the first Blade movie was great, and then afterwards it's just like, what are you doing?
Whatever they want.
What makes me sad is like, there is an amazing, there's more than one storyline for Blade that's just top notch, and they could have delved into anything they wanted to, and they just were like, let's make up some shit of our own and make it suck.
Yeah, vampires with predator mouths. Let's do it.
Yep.
Let's just all agree Ron Perlman made a badass vampire.
Yeah, he did.
I loved his character.
Ron Perlman makes a badass everything. Let's
This
be
is
honest.
true. This is true.
Exactly.
Yeah.
110%.
Yeah, you let him play a slightly unhinged character, and he does great.
Yeah. I love that guy.
So how are all of you?
Surviving.
Alive.
Mostly awake.
Maybe.
That seems to be
Barely any of those things.
That seems to be the basic feeling for all of January so far.
Look,
It's
been a
2024 is
long
turning out
year.
not to be our year.
That's only January.
I'm happy I didn't TPK my party on Saturday. They came
I'm
Yeah,
happy I
man.
did TPK Star Wars on
Yeah.
Tuesday.
Y'all need to just stop. Just
I-
stop.
I rolled for a cone of cold at base level, and it was lots of good numbers.
Horn of Cold is a really nasty spell.
It is.
There's moments as a DM where I roll something and I just go like, oh, that's not good.
Yeah,
That's not good for you.
There are moments when I know you guys are about to go into a fight, and it's just this will be painful.
Mhm.
I do not apologize.
Mm-mm.
And in those instances, your monk gets their head bitten off.
Look, the dice decide what the dice decide.
Yeah,
I
There's nothing we
don't
can
know
do
what,
about it.
I didn't know what that monster was beforehand, but when I saw the description of it, I was like, I'm pretty sure that thing has a vorpal bite.
Yup.
I hope no one.
yep.
I'm pretty like its mouth is just a circle of teeth.
What happened
hold on.
is Rogan let my dice decide what body part they're taking off, and my dice hate me.
Yep.
We can
Hated
confirm.
you for the last week, let's be honest. It's hated you.
They
for
paid
last
me for a
week.
lot longer than that.
Well, let's hope
That's fair.
let's hope the dice don't hate you tonight.
Please.
As we are picking up on the third day that the group is now currently in their home, planning and working and toiling away on taking steps to finally prepare for their assault on Morning Glory.
God, are we doing that right now? Should
Not
we do that
yet.
at level freaking 8? I was gonna
Not
say,
yet.
I'm not comfortable.
Y'all
I'm not
have
comfortable.
just been sitting here in a home. Some of you have been working, some of you have been planning, others, have been, relaxing. It's getting on in
Others have been
time.
going
though.
on dates with tieflings.
I have a plan,
Others-
but I wasn't
others
there
have
last
been-
time to tell the plan.
Others have been sneaking out only for the literal eyes in the sky that scare them back home. You know, that sort of thing.
It wasn't so much the eye in the sky, it was the one on the ground.
This is true. This is very true.
And we got useful information out of that, and we survived, so it's fine. Bye.
You dressed up like half-assed ninjas and, you know, were able to make it back safely.
You can't see me now.
I feel like Kel would have decent stealth, considering he's a hunter. Decent. Didn't say amazing, but decent.
Yeah, but he kind of has his father's intelligence at some points, and he's just like, well, if I throw a cloak over my head and wrap up my face, then, you know, nobody can see me.
You know what?
It's
It
like how,
worked.
just like the t-shirt, "This is my ninja outfit," and you just flip the shirt backwards over your head.
Yep.
Yeah.
I mean, that's pretty much what he did. He did shirt ninja. He just, you know, put the ring of the neck ring around his head and just tied the sleeves over his face.
And look, now I own one of his shirts. It's fine. He's not getting it back.
You two aren't even dating yet. You're stealing his clothing. God damn.
Stalker!
Gonna go into Nolani's room and there's an altar built to him.
Oh God.
Oh, I love you, Arnold.
Look, she's not the first character to steal clothing.
At least she's not trying to create like some rune of binding or something already.
Oh, Jesus Christ.
No, that would probably be Chemic's suggestion.
Yeah.
Anyway,
It's just like, this is gross.
so the dawn of the third day approaches. Those of you who have been working tirelessly have thankfully begun to see progress in your endeavors. Though there seems to be a bit of a more serious atmosphere at the home today, as both Den Mother and Lisa are sort of walking the halls, sort of talking to each other in hush whispers, slipping in and out of rooms, and spending a lot of time in the observatory. Though they seem to be at the moment avoiding everyone else, their comings and goings aren't something that they're trying to hide. So before we get started, since you were sick for technically day 2, Zoro, what was Chemic keeping up with?
A couple things actually. One, downtime reading, always a plus. But since there's technically no people in the city, they were going to attempt to take an opportunity to go to a shop or library or something, and they're like, well, if no one's around, I'm just going to take some shit that may help aid us. Obviously not willy-nilly go in there with a sack and go, this is mine, this is mine. It's like, no, like essential shit, not Chemic ain't like that.
So is Chemic going to attempt to brave the outside after Kel and Nolani's warning about the eyes in both the sky and wandering the town, seemingly stealing people's souls?
I think Chemic, I don't know if I need to do a roll or try to do some research in the house, but what I was really sad to not be able to suggest to the group is that Chemic knows that there are catacombs and tunnels all over the fucking continent. Through towns and across the continent and everything, and was gonna try to see if they know if there's any kind of underground path throughout the town here.
You do know of one, but it was recently destroyed, and that was the underground train network that the church had been using to get its members from point A to point B without being detected. but after the whole ordeal with magic reawakening and everything being found out about the undead glyphs and everything that have been spread out about town underneath the snow, so with the supposed undead curse and the church pulling back, they've destroyed those train tunnels in order to cut off any sort of underground access back to Morning Glory.
Would I know of any other tunnels that was not that underground railroad?
Go ahead and give me a history check with disadvantage, because Hampstead has been pretty much sealed off from the rest of the continent for a couple years now.
Okay. I rolled a 16 and a nat 20. So 27.
You do know at one point in time there was like a little bit of an underground network that sort of ran from choice locations in the city, sort of to smuggle in contraband goods and then move them around to the different shops. Though you know of their existence, you don't necessarily know of any that are currently functional in the town.
Okay. I think... Let me see here. Okay, so underground stuff, at least where we are right now, is not an option. But we could potentially find it to sneak out. Okay. Chemic will still brave the outdoors. We are small. Give me a second. Let's see. Oh, God. I don't know if I want to use my poor bird again. My poor bird just keeps getting smacked. Yeah, no, we'll still attempt it. I do remember going to the shop when we were here last, so I'm going to very quietly make my way to the shop.
How are you leaving the house?
Good question. Obviously gonna pull their cloak up, wearing mostly kind of blacks, kind of help us blend into the shadow a little bit. So of course, black cloak with the hood up and everything. Yeah, I think that's it. They don't really have anything to like full-blown disguise them or anything, but
Okay.
they're gonna attempt it. So yeah.
So as you slip out of the house and you make your way onto the streets of a now visual ghost town, can you go ahead and give me a stealth roll with disadvantage?
Okay.
God damn it, Kimmick.
No, this is actually pretty decent. It's not bad. Where's my stealth? That's an 18.
An 18, okay. So you make your way, slipping under and through any sort of boxes or carriages that you can see on your travel, just trying to keep out of view of the sky as much as possible. And it seems to work well enough as you make your way to the shop that you had visited previously, before you had initially left town in the first place.
Okay. Primarily want to try and find. Well, is it unlocked first and foremost?
The
shop.
door is at the moment locked, and
Is there a
it
window?
looks like from what you can see inside the shop, there's something like jammed up against the door, trying to like, as in like a more of an attempt to keep it shut. There are front-facing windows.
Can I peek my large eyes under the door, see if I can see anything, any shadows or anything?
Go ahead and give me an investigation roll.
That's cocked. That is a 13.
A 13. Funny enough, when you look underneath the door, your vision slightly changes as you begin to see almost small pulses of light, what almost look to be light or warmth, coming from near the back end of the shop, as if somebody back there may be huddled. Every now and then, the pulse is sort of mimicking that of a heartbeat.
All right, then. We will... I'm trying to find it. Where is it? Yeah, okay. We are gonna go ahead and we're gonna twiddle with our little time watch, and we are going to cast Flesh to Paper on ourselves.
Flesh to paper.
A willing creature you touch becomes as thin as a sheet of paper. Anything the target is wearing is also flattened.
And what level spell is that?
I've seen this in a cartoon before.
Yeah. I basically just become two-dimensional. Is it second level? Let me double check. I just opened it. Where did I open it? Flesh to paper. Third level.
Third level. Is your third levels? Is your third level protected yet?
I know. Here, let me open up my list. I know I have one or two that are protected. Let's see here. You want to know what spells are protected by it already, or just what levels?
Oh, that's right. Yeah, it was the protected spells. And
Yeah, the spells where I can cast them without them.
You have two of those?
Two, yes.
Okay. Go ahead and give me a d20.
D20? Okay. Oh, shit. 17.
17.
Just a flat D20, correct?
Yep.
Okay.
Okay. You are fine,
Okay.
as your spell for Flesh to Paper does not kick off any side effects or adverse effects, as your body, as you said, becomes as flat as a sheet of paper.
And I can still move and everything. Just kind of wiggle and flutter as I will slip under the door.
All right. And you slip under the door and you get your entire body underneath it and to the other side, as you're kind of stopped and stuck on that of a chair leg. As you can now see that just a basic sitting chair is now lodged up underneath the door handle of the door, preventing it from being opened from either side.
use my paper self to like wiggle and move between the chair legs.
Okay.
Just wiggle, wiggle, wiggle. And then once I am completely in, I am gonna go ahead and summon Moonin and see if he can go scout for me real quick.
Okay.
Looking through his eyes.
And almost right away, as you summon Moonin, there's a crash of glass behind you as one of these disjointed, multi-tentacled eyes come flying into the shop and slowly start just like floating around, scanning the area. And you can see the eye passes over you a couple times, but it doesn't seem to mind that you're there, or it hasn't saw you. But it just
Dismiss Moonin.
completely begins to float through the shop, up and over the counters, and into like a back room where you had saw that heartbeat for a moment. And then there's like a sudden scream of terror, and then a flash of bright light, and then it's all silent. As the eye comes back out, floating back into the main shop area over the counter, and it sits and like maybe a foot away and just stares at you with a familiar eye. As you look at it and it looks at you, you can see yourself, giving you the sense that you are currently sharing your vision with this creature.
Oh no.
And it just softly blinks for a moment before it evaporates into this like thick black dust.
Oh, that's unsettling. And kind of puts their hand over that clouded over green eye and just goes, "Oh, I knew they would be coming back at some point. I best hurry then." As I will look around the shop. At this point, I will pop back. I'll drop concentration and pop back so I can move around without wiggling like a paper.
Okay.
And I will try to very quietly look for specifically potions and tomes. Because again, going into some place like Morning Glory, want to try to find anything that could help, whether it's health potions, potions of revival or invisibility, resistances, just anything to kind of help us in our aid.
Go ahead and give me another investigation roll.
Okay. God, my dice are spicy tonight. Okay. Oh my god, I counted wrong like an idiot. 25.
25. As you go through the shop, you kind of feel any sense of hope that you had slowly start to drain away. As you notice that the display counters and the racks and everything up on the walls are pretty much picked clean.
Damn scavengers. Do I find any hidden compartments or back room that may have some stuff stashed or locked away?
going into the back room, you see that that this is where that person was hiding. Is like a little makeshift bed with a blanket and what looks to be a rice sack that they used for a pillow is like just tucked away in the corner. A small, what almost looks to be portable stove next to it with a little pan of like half-eaten food inside. It doesn't look like there's anything much of use back here aside from a blanket, if you want.
Damn it. Well, that was a waste. Very well. As we will backtrack, moving the chair out of the way, of course, very gently, and making our way back to the manor.
Right.
Defeated and sad.
Yeah. And you're not stopped or attacked along the way. You're able to get back safe and sound and slip back into the manor.
Definitely informs whoever's around that resources are incredibly scarce. As they will retreat back to their room for a bit. Doing a couple things, actually. Probably spending one day dedicated to reading and the other one to the research, the journal that they have, to find perhaps where the cipher may be for the codes and stuff I have for Travala's body parts.
Okay.
Knowing that there are some that are unfortunately on their way to morning glory, but
yeah, the remaining pieces that you were looking for are on their way to morning glory.
yeah.
So for
Still wants to read the
so
cipher.
for the second day, which one are you doing? Are you reading or are you deciphering?
I'm probably ciphering the second day and then reading the first day.
Okay. So the rest of this day is spent reading.
Yes.
And this upcoming day will be spent deciphering more of the ciphers that you have.
Yes. So what do I need to roll for my book first? Not the cipher, the book.
Which book is this?
I am learning High Elvish.
That is your language book, so that is going to be a D6 as you have that clock.
A 5.
A 5? Okay, so that's another 3.
I have learned Elvish!
Too bad the only high elf that you know is currently a book himself.
Womp womp. Yeah, we're going into morning glory. They've got to have some high-end hoity-toity people.
You would hope.
Yep. So, cool.
You go there and they all
reached-
just speak Undercommon.
Like, motherfuck. The one time Rojan uses Undercommon. I'm gonna add that to my thing as I am officially done with that book. So, of course, as promised at the very beginning of the campaign, we'll definitely hand that off to oh my god, I was gonna call you
Mia?
Yuriko. You're not Yuriko. Mia, thank you.
Okay,
The other
so
one.
Wow.
The other nerd.
when
The
you
other
go
nerd, sorry.
when you go to find Mia, they're currently in the workshop with a rather strange looking being, a lady comprised of metal plates and gears and Azure Claw, and they seem to be shaving down and reshaping coalesced mana crystals in a what looks to be a successful rate.
What the hell is going on here?
I've enlisted the assistance of Azure Claw and this wonderfully talented artificer to help me with some projects.
Involving the mana crystals.
Yes. I assure you, it's as safe as it can be given the circumstances.
No explosion yet.
Yet.
Yet. That's
Yet.
Scalia, thank
still
you for
not
the raid.
comforting. That's still not comforting.
Robbie Landis, thank you for that raid.
Oh my goodness. Hero.
As the Gearforged artificer sort of looks up from her workstation. While we haven't had any explosions just yet, the more I examine these crystals, the more of a catastrophe I am certain would happen if any were to explode in a confined space such as this. Possibly losing about 40% of the house, if not more.
Yes, well, my assumption is that it would trigger like a chain reaction of all the crystals that we have in this room at the moment. But, you know, you work with what you've got.
Right.
If we did have a chain reaction, then 100% of this house and probably a large portion of the city would be consumed in an all-out catastrophe.
Yeah,
right.
Sounds about right.
Right, and you gained the knowledge of this, which is helpful but not guaranteed.
Yes.
It's not quite comforting considering your track record.
Science is never completely guaranteed.
No, but again, track record.
Well, at some point, you have to take the theories off of paper and into the lab. We're just skipping the paper part of that.
Well, as long as nothing blows up, I suppose. Are you trying to do something specific with these?
Oh, yes. I have many plans for these.
That's all you're gonna say?
I have
For
plans.
now. Kemek, it has been... Listen, you are
Yes.
of equal intelligence to myself, and I would love to work with you on all of these projects. And it has been incredibly difficult not to come to you with all of this. But I've been refraining because of, you know, the guest that you've got. I don't want him seeing what we're up to.
Me, the player, is like, what the fuck are you talking? Oh.
Yeah.
Out of character, I'm like, I don't get it. Oh, right. Womp womp.
I mean, to work alongside another Arcanist of your caliber, imagined what we could accomplish. But we can't give away all
No
our
doubt.
secrets, can we?
No, and it is wise not to do so. Very well, I'm not offended. You make a very fine point. Which reminds me, I was noticed by, well, I shouldn't say the eyes above, more of like a tentacle with the eyes, when I was trying to peruse the shops for any helpful items on our journey, and
I'm sorry, you went outside?
I did. Do you think I'm going to stay cooped up here? I move underground for a reason.
Well, I suppose
I'm
you're
fine.
alive, so that's all that matters.
Yes, but the creature saw me. Well, I saw me. If you catch my drift.
I think I do.
So whatever those beings are, which I already determined back in that cavern that they are from Morning Glory or somewhere else in some godlike manner. I have no idea what they are yet. That's something I need to investigate, and something tells me it's not going to happen here. Regardless, it saw me, It did not react, other than showed me that it is connected to this. Points to the eye. But unfortunately, everything was ransacked and done, so for now I will study what I can for now, and I know of, if we're very careful, I know some tunnels somewhat nearby that we could try to get out of town with.
Yes, we'll
Underground,
probably
of
have to start discussing our evacuation plans soon, but I've got more work to do in the meantime, so if you need my assistance with anything, don't hesitate to ask.
Appreciate it. In the meantime, I did finish a book, as I hand over the book that's Learn High Elvish for Dummies.
This will come in very handy.
I don't think you showed me what language book you had that one day. I'm curious what you chose. Picked up.
I didn't show it to you because it's goblinoid. I assume you already know how to speak it.
Because I'm a goblin, I suddenly know goblinoid.
Yes?
Why would you assume that? Just because I am of that race, I just automatically know it.
Yes. I mean, the same reason that we often assume elves speak Elvish and dwarves speak Dwarvish. Do you speak goblinoid, Kemek?
Yes, I speak goblinoid, yes. Unfortunately, I speak goblinoid.
It's a language that I'm sure will come in handy at some point. It's why I'm studying it.
Hope not, except for one specific reason, but yes. I know many languages, but I suppose that was beaten into me. Either way, I have learned a new language to add to my list. Here you are. I know 2 different dialects of Elvish now, so...
Well, you got me beat then. I only know 1.
Well, eventually you'll learn 2 then. For the record, and I say this as more of a courtesy, if you decide to use goblinoid, don't use it to speak to me.
I will refrain from doing so.
Appreciate it.
Oh, and Kemek, you've been around in, let's say, unscrupulous places for a while now. So if you've got any allies in the area that might be lurking around, maybe now's the time to call upon them. I don't know if you do, but I think now seems like a gather your allies type of moment.
Knowing people and allies are 2 entirely different things. Do I know people underground? Yes. Are we allies? Fuck no.
But do you have the same enemies?
No.
Fair.
Unless that's changed over the years, so I can't say, but at that moment, no.
Might be worth reaching out, though.
You see Kemek, like, for just a split moment think about it before they just grin and they're like, no thank you.
I won't push it any further than that.
Although they could be food for slaughter. That would benefit me.
Pretend I
Food
didn't
for
hear
thought.
that.
Because Kemek turns around and just, like, without saying goodbye, just starts walking back up the stairs. We'll go back to my room.
All right, and as that happens, we'll go ahead and go past the closing of the second night as we did in the last episode, and open with your next day here at the house.
Yep, just studying that journal and the cipher along with... It's basically looking like a beautiful mind right now, where it's just all the notes out and like the thread connecting everything, the registering is like trying to figure out, just solely doing research on anything in history that has to do that they've collected of Travala.
Gotcha. What are you doing about your eye?
Oh, that's a good question. You know what? From what Kemek has understood so far, and not only have they been told this, but it has proven true, Kemek from muscle memory will close their eyes, pull out the skull and the tongue, and assemble it.
Okay.
And keep their eyes closed as they wait to see what happens.
So you open the jaw and you slide the silver tongue inside, and much like you've done with other you've done the couple other times that you've assembled this, the skull kind of shakes for a moment and you can feel it sort of come to life in your hands.
Greetings, Travala, and like bows in respect. I ask for your assistance, your guidance.
You address me with closed eyes.
I am being cautious, as the last time we met, you saw I had a different colored eye, correct?
Indeed.
This eye is linked to some unsavory people of vast knowledge of a millennium more. I can't quite say of 1,000 lifetimes. Useful, but it does have its price where, if I so choose, can delve into those memories and knowledge in exchange for knowing what I've been up to. So as a precaution, there are certain things I do where I don't want to reveal those secrets visually.
And
Especially
what is,
since...
and what is it you seek of me?
What do you know of this would-be false god in Morning Glory? I can't frickin' remember his name. I'm trying to find my notes and I can't frickin' find him.
This pretender.
One that is trying to destroy all the Celestials. Use them and manipulate them, even.
I know much of this one. A sibling of mine. Certain ways. Not by blood or fellowship, but power.
They've always been this dangerous, I presume.
This pretender is ancient. They have been around since the beginning, the creation of life. Not necessarily a god, but not mortal themselves. A flea gnawing at the flesh of the gods. Though it
One that
seems,
very much wants to be one.
though it seems that with the passage of time and the destruction of the celestial realm, it has garnered enough power to pass itself off as a god.
Does have the power to back it, at least amongst mortals. For now.
The veneration of mortals is very important in the ritual of ascension.
It's upping its timetable for sure. The ley lines of the magic around here is unstable now.
Not unstable. Awakening.
Is it to get stronger then?
To put it in a layman term, the dam has begun to burst. Magic around here has been held back for so long that with this awakening, it has overtaken the continent, the world, in fact. It will soon mellow out, but with it, the access to arcane knowledge and the abilities of those who may harness it will drastically change.
Yes, we have witnessed a few of those events, for sure.
As you may notice, I am able to speak to you a little more freely than I previously was.
Indeed, and I am grateful for it, to be honest. But this creature, this false god, has been doing a lot that, well, has influenced my companions, but to the point where I wish to learn from you, or at least guide me to a place that can teach me to help shift the strands of time better, to manipulate more efficiently to my will, and perhaps assist against this false god.
The skull pauses for a moment as if it means to search its own knowledge for anything that may assist you. At this point in time, access to assistance or greater knowledge of time magic or the manipulation of it, time itself, is beyond your reach. Not for lack of talent or lack of power, but a lack of access. As
Pity.
the seats of this world's deities, its higher beings, are empty.
Empty.
No gods hold dominion.
Because of this false god, or something else.
Because of something that happened in the past, but this false god, this pretender, has only made it worse for the beings that still wander this world. Deities that have been weakened. I'm afraid for them to return to their rightful seats and for new deities to ascend, you will need to banish or even destroy this pretender.
You know of it. Is there anything that you know, some sort of weapon or item, anything that could help weaken this pretender?
While the power it holds is immense, it is still technically mortal.
Good, it still bleeds.
It has not fully ascended yet. But as you said, the timetable has rapidly increased.
Unfortunately.
I may be able to assist, but I will require the fullness of body to do so.
Without question, please. The rest of your body is
In the capital.
on its way. Exactly. However, if you ever wish to allow temporary assistance, I willingly give you mine.
To do so would be to destroy you.
Would it restore you?
Temporarily. Without my own body, I would be in this world for that of a fleeting moment.
Unfortunate. I would have been happy otherwise, but if it's only temporary, that would simply just not do. I'm still very much on the quest to find the rest of your body, and it is where we are heading. Two birds, as they say.
You do have use of an eye for knowledge.
I do not fear much, but I wonder hesitantly what information they would access in return.
Have you tried lying?
I've never really been good at lying.
Said with enough confidence, people will believe anything.
True. Though I do wonder if the eye would let me, since it is a truth seeker. It punishes those that lie. But I wonder if at its wielder it would. Well, I suppose I can try it. Consequences have already been done earlier. We'll have to try at some point to at least seek the knowledge of where your body does lie. Once we find your body, the assistance will be tremendous.
And as you're talking, you hear a very loud thump, and then the clanging of something metal sort of like hitting the floorboards. As your eyes are still closed, you sort of get the feeling that the time that the tongue had granted the skull life has passed.
Kemek will open their eyes, just gather everything, and definitely ponders what will need to be done, but not today. But they'll think on it. So they'll go back to their books.
So as that is going on, let's go around the table here to see what everybody's plan is for today. Start off with Yuriko. Is there anything in particular that you are looking to take care of this on your third day here?
She is there's a library in the house, right?
Correct.
She's gonna look up, hopefully there's books on magic weapons and magic items. She's gonna look up stuff regarding magic items and magic weapons and see if she can formulate a weapon idea in her head.
Okay, so you're like perusing around the library for information just to figure out what you're going to use that the blueprint on.
Yeah, I haven't written down what I think might not be too crazy, but I figure it's not something that's going to be like, oh, it's an hour or two and she figures it out, because she's magic stupid.
Okay, fair. So you're gonna spend the day in study.
Yep.
Okay. And I won't make you roll for that since you already have the blueprint.
Okay.
So this is just, for her understanding and to get some like idea of what sort of weapon she wants to craft.
Gotcha.
Mia.
Mia, I think, is going to start off the day by sending a couple messages with the sending spell.
Okay.
The first one, she actually would have sent like immediately after we learned that the sky is eating people. But I think we learned that like right at the end of last session.
Yeah, you did.
And it would have been to Chantra, since she's, out in the world somewhere at the moment.
Yep. Is sending one of your spells that is protected at the moment?
It is not.
Okay, so for every sending spell that you do, can you give me a d20 roll?
I sure can.
And sending is what, a level 2 spell?
Level 3.
Level 3. Okay.
So it's a 16 on this first one.
Okay, so it goes off without a hitch.
So the message she will send, she'll simply say, Chantra, I understand you're on your own journey, but you must heed my words. Find shelter. Do not emerge until the sky no longer watches.
There's no response, but you get the feeling that it was received.
That's kind of what she was hoping for. She wasn't expecting Chantra to be in any real mindset to hold a conversation, but knowing that the message was received tells her enough to put her at ease for the moment.
Yep.
And the second message, I'll go ahead and roll this. Okay, it's even better. That's a 19.
Okay.
The second message is going to be to Sinnoh, the mother of puppets, that we had that brief altercation with.
Yep.
Oh my.
And that message is going to read, Morning Glory's walls are shut, and the sky consumes souls. Bright scale wages war. Nobody is safe. You and I needn't be friends to be allies.
And there's a bit of a pause, but you get a response. My dear, I've never thought that we couldn't be friends. But I am in agreement. Something must be done. The tower is where the eyes are amassing.
That is more than I was expecting. Don't want to burn another spell slot quite yet to respond to that, but I'll keep that in my back pocket for the moment. And I will also... no, I want to tell all of this stuff to Kemek, but I don't want to reveal all our secrets to Brightscale. Damn it, Kemek.
The eye does not work
just
as a
visual.
speaker. It's only visual.
It's only visual.
Yeah, but didn't he have the ability to pull memories from you like you did from him?
Only if it's used.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Kemek has to do it first.
Yeah, Kemek has to pretty much open the channel in order for it to be used.
Oh, okay.
And it's kind of, and it's only, if I seek knowledge, and it's random what they seek back. So if I seek one thing, they seek one thing. If I seek three things, they seek three things. It's that kind of thing. It's the whole, quid quo pro kind of thing going on.
Okay. In that case, I'm gonna go track down Kemek after that message with Sinnoh. I assume Kemek I'll either find in their room or in the library. Those are the two places that I go to first.
Yeah, Kemek is actually in their room. They basically built the room almost like a library in itself. It was actually the specifics of it being kind of like a wizard's lab / library in their own room. So
Wall
it's
full
kind
of
of a
books.
2-in-1 deal for them. Yeah.
Do you keep your door locked?
Yes.
Okay, so you hear a loud thud against your door as Mia tries to swing it open and burst through, but just face plants into it.
Kemek's gonna think for a moment and go, Nalani?
No.
Ah. Very well. Just
That's fair. That's fair.
hop off and because I'm a weird ass wizard that doesn't have mage hand, I have to get up off my own ass and
You don't
unlock
have
the door.
mage hand. You don't have prestidigitation. What kind of wizard are you?
I'm an extra nerdy wizzy. With weird RP shit. I was waiting to use flesh to paper for a long time. I'm like, this shit's gonna come in handy someday.
At one point in time, I'm gonna have to crawl underneath the crack of a door.
Yes. Yes.
Because doors are evil.
I mean, when you think about it, it's great stealth too. Like, if you have to go off to the side of the road and you need to stealth flesh to paper, no one's looking for something flat on the ground.
And also hide yourself in a library.
Exactly.
Just file
I can
yourself
become
away in a
bookmark.
bookshelf.
Exactly.
But could you use flesh to paper on yourself, and then could I use my animated scroll spell on you?
That's a fun, and I so want to try
Oh.
question sometime. Hey,
You
it's
guys
good
will
for up
find
to
a
an
reason
hour.
eventually.
It's good for up to an hour.
It's bad because I have an idea of what exactly would happen.
I don't know if that's bad because you're like, ooh, idea, or bad is like, ooh, this could go really wrong.
Yes.
Yes.
Exactly.
All the above.
Oh god. Anyway, unlocks the door. It's like, oh, come on in. As they see like the little residue of red on your face from smacking the door. Like, oh,
Yep.
come on in.
I've got some good news, I think. Well, I've got some news.
Oh.
Remember what I had just said earlier about gathering allies? Well,
I said I would think on it, maybe.
Right, and I said I wouldn't push it. I'm not pushing that particular thing. I'm just coming with the news that I may have found us an ally, a powerful ally.
Your mother.
No, I spoke with her the other day, and she was not pleased that I interrupted whatever she was doing, although she did help me with my request. Perhaps I should... I don't want to push it. No, but somebody of that caliber.
You mean a hag?
Yes. Do you recall, not all that long ago, when we were briefly imprisoned and our mind was being stolen and put into a tome through those memory threads, and then there was the puppets, and you remember that whole thing?
Yes, I still have all the ingredients and components to do such a thing, yes.
Right. So the hag that was doing that to us and all of those innocent people, I spoke with her recently, and it seems we have parallel goals.
Well,
They
yes,
may
hag
even
uses
wanna-
magic.
They may even want to be friends. At least they said
Friends with
they
the
never
common goal.
thought of us as not friends. Anyway, they said that the eyes are gathering at the tower. I thought that seemed like a useful bit of information I should pass along.
They're where now?
The eyes, the soul-sucking things outside. It seems they're
Yes.
gathering at the tower. Now, there are several towers out there, but really, when it comes to Morning Glory, there, I think, are probably only 2 possibilities. And, all we really have to do is look in their general direction and see which one has a bigger clump of eyes around it.
You want to poke your head out the window and see?
Oh, no. But the time will come for that, I'm sure. And at least now we know what direction to look in when that time comes. Even better, I don't know what Lisa has planned. I do intend on talking to her in a moment, but if we can maybe take one of these towers down, that may aid us.
Any of the towers or one of the 2 primary ones?
Whichever one the eyes are gathering around.
Don't have the ability to scry or anything at the moment, but it could come in handy in the future. Be one way to
Could.
find out.
Were you thinking of scrying on the towers themselves, or...?
Several things.
I might be able to help with that.
You have the ability to scry.
Not me, but,
Who?
Yes,
you
who?
say that like I'm going to enlist the help of, a coven or something.
That's exactly what I'm thinking, among other theories. Go on.
Well, I think this is more to your liking, or possibly less to your liking, because there's curses involved. But anyway, I believe Etrin may have had the ability to scry, and now his abilities are my abilities. But his
You
abilities...
mean the book version of him?
It's still him.
Is it, though?
Yes?
I don't know. Are you so chemic when you paper?
We all know what GIF I'm talking about when I say that. Is it, though? Would you be able to have access to it, then?
Yes. But using those abilities does come with a risk.
Oh, it seems like we both have something in common. Well, I was hoping that would be one of the handful of tomes I was going to find earlier today. Unfortunately, not. But with a bit more studying, I could potentially access it myself. That way we could do it safely without risking whatever happens. Do you know what happens if you were to use the tome?
Yes and no. Yes, I know that using the magic from the tome has the risk of imprinting Etrin's curse onto me. So I know that much. But I also don't know the full extent of that curse. I didn't finish studying it before it took him.
I don't know if it will work, nor do I want to spam it like a sandwich, but I do have remove curse. Not saying it's guaranteed, but again, the more you use it, I'm not going to just spam it on you.
Yes, I was wondering about that, actually, with Etrin. Because I had considered just, hitting him with remove curse, but then also hitting him with any sort of magic imprinted that magic onto him, so which one takes priority, the curse or the remove curse? But I never got the chance to study that in person, so...
Just more tests to do, right?
Exactly.
Well...
But if you want some time to maybe try and get your hands on a tome or scroll of scrying, I do have plenty of other things to do today, so I could always scry at the end of the day. if you don't happen to get your hands on a scroll or something.
It may be difficult staying here. Like I said, if we can find that way to that tunnel on the other side of town, it should be fine. We just have to be careful, and there's no guarantee, so that's one option at least, unless that Arcanus that you have has an ability to teleport us somewhere.
Well, I could teleport us, but I believe that will come at a higher risk than scrying. The more powerful the magic, the greater the risk.
Is teleport, is that a level 5, 7 spell? 6 spell?
That's
High.
7.
It's high. It's high, yeah. Because you can have the ability to do the teleportation circle before you have access to teleport.
The lower level one, yeah.
I do remember that. Kind of rubs their eyes. It's like, let's
It's a
see if
7th
your
level
friend-
spell, by the way.
Yeah, that's what I thought. Yeah. Let's see if your friend perhaps can assist us first before we take any unnecessary risks. In the meantime, we could just try to be careful and stealth our way through, but I may have another potential ally, however, we have to seek them in Morning Glory. I know that doesn't help us now, but we would have a powerful ally.
Now's the time to gather them.
I mean, my only other ally is Nalani, and, well, she's already here.
Actually, speaking of that, I know everything with her people is still, fairly raw at the moment. But what do you think the chances are of you convincing her to maybe see if they'll help?
You know, my idea of convincing is just walking up to her saying, like, hey, what do you think? And then that's it, because it's her clan, not my clan.
Right, but the two of you being such long-time friends, I think she'd be more open to the suggestion if it came from you.
I could put the bug in her ear, but I don't push because, again, that is her business. I don't meddle in her business unless otherwise asked.
That's entirely fair. And I'm trying really hard not to meddle in people's business right now, though it is really tempting.
You enjoy gossip.
I enjoy assisting.
You are what... what is it? What is that phrase I have heard humans use? You like the tea. And stirring the spoon.
Call it an influence from my mother. You know her
Indeed.
kind. They are all about that sort of life.
Yes. Well, let's just say it was a mutual understanding we had when we first became companions. It's why I try to be respectful and not do too much magic around her, since it makes her uncomfortable. Just like how her issues with her clan have always been icy.
Are you making jokes, Kemek?
Was that a joke? I did not realize that came out as a joke.
It was wordplay at the very least.
You see Kemek, like, legitimately confused at first, like, I said a joke? Like, I know I say jokes. I have joked. I have messed with you many a time, Mia, but I did not realize that came out as a joke. Perhaps I'm naturally funny.
Perhaps.
Well, again, I will talk to her about it, but just like how you're being oh so nice and not pushing, I will not push further if she says no. After all, she's their brand new queen, doesn't mean she wants to say, hey, army, march.
Yes, that whole relationship is a bit raw, as I said. So
Indeed.
it might not be good to push it too much, but given, the world-ending circumstances outside, it might be worth reaching out.
You're not wrong. I suppose I don't know what their politics are as far as do they care enough, since they are very anti-magic to begin with. But I suppose a wannabe god ascending using souls, no matter who the souls are, might encourage them. But again, I'll put the bug in the ear and see what happens. I'm not going to the spa, though. She's constantly in there. She's constantly in that hot tub thing, whatever.
It's quite relaxing. It might do you some good.
It's humid in there.
Very.
So why go into the humidity?
You soak for a bit.
That's what a bath is for.
Well, think of it like just a really big communal bath. You know, don't think of it that way. It's better than that.
So you share the water and the stink that comes off your skin.
Well, generally you don't go in there filthy. You clean yourself first, and then you go in there.
So it's a spa, not a bath.
Yes.
But people go in naked.
Often.
Disgusting, disinterested.
Different cultures.
Personal preference, I suppose.
Exactly. Now I'm going to go speak to Lisa. Is there anything you need me to ask her about? Perhaps I should ask her about the underground tunnels in this area. She might be able to shed some light on it.
That, and perhaps if they know the area much better, obviously, than I do, I am open to suggestions to get the group out, because some of us may be well at sneaking around, others I'm not so confident in. Just not their strengths is all.
History
Why'd you make that gesture like I was suggesting you, Nalani?
History has proven that to be true.
Exactly.
Well, I will relay anything either.
Very well.
I will
Do you know how to send messages now?
Oh, yes. I can send short and long messages. Well, short distance and long distance.
Well, if you want to, you can come back up and bang your face again, or just send me a message.
I will keep that in mind for next time.
Should I put up a sign or a sock? I see some people do that on their doors. Is that a way for you to know?
Don't do that, Kemek. That means something else entirely.
It doesn't mean that it's occupied. I thought that's what it meant.
Well, it kind of means that. Just means that it's occupied by more than one person.
Okay, so the meaning is it's occupied. All right. Should I still hang up the sock?
You know what? I think you should.
Do you have a sock I can borrow? Points to their bare feet like, I don't wear socks.
Perhaps just take one from Nalani's room.
Does Nalani wear socks?
I was gonna ask the same question.
I mean, she wears boots, right? You don't want to put bare
Doesn't mean
feet
she
into
wears
boots.
socks.
There's probably socks in those boots, so those boots would smell so bad.
I always figured Nalani wore like those open-toed type, like the open boots. It's just basically like a flat with straps.
In the snow? No, thank you. In the volcano area.
He's like, I don't care if I'm resistant. Hell no.
Maybe
I don't wish
resistant,
for
but it's
frostbite.
still uncomfortable.
Yeah. Yeah, pretty much as soon as Mia leaves, you can very much hear the very audible click of like locking the door again.
So as that wraps up, Nalani, what are you doing today?
Losing her goddamn mind. She's just not like being in here. So she's probably harassing the crap out of Kel, because I think he was working on those anti-scrying necklaces for us.
Damon was. Damon.
David.
Yeah.
Oh, sorry, I mixed up the names.
Yeah.
Damon. I knew
Damon.
that. Yeah, so I'm probably harassing the crap out of Damon, going, are they done yet? Are they done yet? Are they done yet? Until Kyle finally drags us away, because...
Oh, no, Kel's there, too, doing the same thing. Just like...
Okay.
The both of you are like...
You're like, oh, never mind.
You are like huskies that cannot go outside.
Yeah.
You are just full of energy, and you can't, do anything, so you bug the closest person to you.
This is the person that has the necklaces that might be able to let us go outside, so...
And you can see that he's getting very visually upset at both of you. I'm sorry you all have to stay inside, but it's going to take me some time to craft anti-scrying necklaces. It isn't just, a snap and it's done. I'm not Piper.
Don't understand.
All right, think about it this way. If I make a mistake while crafting one of these, it can reverse the magical intention, and then everything can see you. Or it blows up and it kills me. Or it blows up and kills you. Or it just completely doesn't work, and then whatever you're trying to hide from can see you. I need peace and quiet, is what I'm saying. You travel with the wizard. You should know we prefer the quiet when we work.
That was just a Kemek thing. They just prefer quiet in general.
No. Now, please. And he could just kind of like shoos you away. He's like, leave me alone. Let me work. Go do something else to occupy your time.
You'll tell us as soon as you have them ready, right?
Oh my
You're
god,
first to know?
yes. I will let you know the moment these necklaces are done. But I'm not going to get to them anytime soon if you keep bugging me.
But how long does it actually take?
I never thought I would have more annoyance than my brother bugging me when I'm trying to work. It will take time.
Fine. So she will leave Damon alone. Probably poke her head in a few more times throughout the day.
Just senses your presence, like, just barely look at it, like,
Magic
no, I'm
missile
not
at the door.
Pretty much. Tempted to try and go see what's going on with the clan, but I also don't know if where that crystal's going to dump me out at. So, that doesn't seem smart. What else can we do? I mean, other than that, it's going to be rinse and repeat, because that's the only thing she can do. It's just not satisfying anymore.
Just the two of you pretty much wandering around the house, bugging whoever you see, like bored little children. Okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
Some point. Wait, did Kamek put the lock on the door?
Kamek did lock their door, yes.
They locked it, but
sorry.
they put the sock on it.
Oh.
Since they had no socks and they didn't know because of what Mia said, saying, oh, the sock means something else, they didn't want to put a hat on there and have it mean something else that they were not aware of. So, no, it's just locked.
I think at some point she would knock on Kimmick's door. Repeatedly until Kimmick answered.
Yes. Oh, wait. Nalani
Yes.
hops off the chair, goes to unlock it.
You know,
Yes.
when you didn't have a lock, it was a lot nicer.
Apparently, I get bugged no matter what.
You-
Yes.
You see
Hello.
Kel like sticking his head into the room as well.
Hello.
Hey,
Hi.
what's
Yeah.
up? Hi, you
Sup?
got a lot of papers on the ground.
You in
Yes,
the
do
middle of
not
something?
step on them.
I wasn't going to step on them. Normally, they're better in a book. I mean, all over the place like this, you know, gonna get lost.
Oh, you know what a book is. Anyway, what, Nalani, would you like?
You in the middle of something? I'm pretty sure
I'm in the
Damon would go a
middle?
lot faster if you could help him.
Who?
Damon.
Oh, right. The other one.
Making the anti-scrying necklace thingy so we can go outside.
Yes. It's not my area of expertise. I could potentially assist if he wants to. Is that why you're here? He wants assistance?
And you can see Kel has like leaned down. He's picked up a piece of paper and he's like reading it. Nah, you best not do that. He likes to work alone.
What's up with all these wizards are working alone? It'd go a lot faster if they got help.
Instantly smacks Kel's hand, like in a drop it manner.
So you just like hop up and smack his hand,
I do,
Yes.
I'm just like, drop it.
and he's like, ah! He just drops a piece of paper. It's like, what? I was just reading.
It's organizing. Don't disrupt my organization.
I just grabbed the top sheet. It's not like I, grabbed it from the middle or anything.
She's very particular. They're very particular about the papers. Just best not to touch.
Let's see.
Do you want help or not?
Well, I want to go outside.
Yes, I know you are. I can hear you pacing a lot. You're not subtle about it.
Well, it's boring.
Oh, good. I wasn't trying to be.
I don't know how people can stay cooped up in the same house or the same camp or the same cave or whatever for more than a day. It seems like a waste of time and energy. We're going a bit
Yes.
stir crazy.
It's been
Term
3 days
patience does elude you lot. All right. Well, I will go assist if I can.
No, don't. Like, that would be bad.
I am
Really?
confused. You asked for assistance, but you don't want assistance?
No, my brother didn't ask for assistance, and if you were to show up, then it would just be two wizards fighting with each other.
He is
ve-
also a wizard then.
sorcerer. Very particular in how he works his magic.
What? He's not a wizard? It's not all the same.
No.
No.
Sorcerers are more natural talent and less study.
Ah.
I'm so sorry that we have to work for what we want. You know, another way of us getting off our asses. Metaphorically speaking.
He got it from Earth, so
Good for him.
You got anything we can go do? Something that's not boring.
Well, maybe I have a task for you. I'm not sure how you could do this, if you have a way to communicate or not, but it was brought to my attention that allies may be good to have. I know you are the new ruler of your clan, but considering how the continent and potentially the world is at stake here, how would you feel about gathering your clan as potential allies?
Pretty sure they all still hate my guts.
Oh, I'm very well aware of that. And I'm
Probably-
not saying that you should say, you know, I'm your queen, do as I say, because that would only hurt it even more, but perhaps letting them know that the whole continent is at risk could perhaps persuade them, but I don't understand the politics very well within your clan. If they would even be interested, or if they'd even care.
It's because you overcomplicate it. It's
Well.
real simple.
Hey, then you just say, bad guy, destroy world, bad, help, question?
But we're not idiots.
You said simple.
Simple doesn't mean idiots. Sometimes the
Simple's
simple answer is the
actual
best answer.
definition. Sometimes simple's the actual never mind. Alright then. Straightforward then, I suppose.
Might be a better request of Yuriko, because I have no way of contacting them unless they go physically show up. And honestly, I don't know where the teleportation square put me.
That's true.
I have a crystal, but I don't know where it goes to. Could be outside. Hence why I need the necklace. But Yuriko could probably get in touch with the Snow Mother. But she ain't gonna do it if I ask. Maybe she'll do it if me asks. They kind of have some sort of bond.
Yes, they do seem to be the closer of the two, aren't they?
I mean, yes, but she's real mad at me right now.
I guess I'll go bug Mia.
Be careful when you bug her. She's down below dealing with the mana crystals. Thankfully, nothing's unstable, but just be cautious.
I'm sorry, but the baby is screaming, so I gotta go.
Okay.
I'll have to bug Mia later.
Okay.
Yes, you should go. Go bug Mia. Oh god, then Az is like, no, my DoorDash is closed. Oh, damn it.
So the two of them leave you back to your study. And as Gilly goes and takes care of the babu. Azure Claw, what are your plans for today?
If I am done dealing with high explosive crystals for the time being,
The experimentation process was a big success, so yeah, you're pretty much done until you and Mia start putting it into practice.
I guess my question is, did I gain anything, any progress on my jewel crafting and all that?
Yeah, you know what? I'll give you 2 rolls on that, seeing as how it was going into unfamiliar territory with the mana crystals.
Not to be that guy, but doing dangerous shit that possibly could blow me up. D6s, right?
Correct.
Okay. Not horrible. 2 and a 3.
2 and 3. Okay, so that is a total of 3.
Okay. And lo and behold, guess what I'm spending all day doing now? Because...
Is it working on gem crafting? Or gem cutting?
Yeah, because now that Mia's like, I'm gonna make you play with highly explosive things, it's become more urgent. It's no longer just, it's a hobby to make money. It's now like, oh, if I don't do this right, I'm gonna blow up.
Well, this plan was set in motion in episode 1 when you said you were practicing jewel crafting.
So you, if you're spending the entirety of the day, you can go ahead and give me another roll here.
Okay.
Because you're putting in a solid 8 hours.
That's another 2.
Okay.
So that'll be another 1 point on my clock. Probably.
Yeah.
Perfect. Is this where I get to sing the song? We're halfway there.
All right. So
unfortunately, it's nothing exciting, but it needs to be done.
Needs to be done, and this is your guys' downtime to take care of stuff that you need to do before we head off into the next section.
Yep.
But before we get going into what happens in the evening hour this day, we are going to get up, take a quick break, stretch your legs, freshen up our drinks, all that fun stuff. So we will be back in about 5 minutes or so. Alrighty, we are back. All right. Get this music playing. Actually, okay. So all of you go throughout your daily activities, just either relaxing or studying or doing a combination of both, or pretty much just losing your marbles. But as
Some of us.
yeah, as the day progresses on and turns into evening, all of you receive a summons to gather in the observatory of the house. And this comes as almost as soon as the sun sets and night begins to take over. And once you all begin to arrive, you notice that both Lisa and Denmother are in there, along with a familiar face you haven't seen in quite some time. I forget what the race is called, but pretty much the moth person.
Shit.
Lamplight.
Yeah, I don't remember. Are those the moon ones?
Yeah, the Luminarians.
The moon moths ones?
Yeah, the Luminarians or something like that. But he is there as well, just covered up in the long robe that he normally wears, hiding his features, just with the staff with like the little brass lantern at the top. And as you begin to gather in, you could see a rather somber look on both Lisa and Denmother's face. And it takes a moment, but Lisa finally speaks up. So we've been looking into the matter of these eyes, as well as getting field reports from our remaining scouting parties. Something alarming is happening in Morning Glory. A dome of almost persistent night now shrouds the entirety of the city. When this dome went up, we've lost contact with any friendly individual inside the city itself. On top of that, there's the matter of these eyes seemingly abducting people out of nowhere if they step out into view of the night sky, or the sky in general, I should say. Though Lamplight has found where they're at, where they're convening. Those of you here would recall that Black Tower, the one just north of Old Town, or Madtown.
Yes, the obsidian tower that erupted from the ground.
Yes. They seem to be convening around its peak.
I must say, I'm a little bit surprised. I didn't think that was the tower that Sino was referring to.
I thought that tower was taken care of.
We thought so too. But just like the rest of the great and holy order that is the light, we were lied to. The tower wasn't destroyed, it was overtaken.
Well, shit.
My thoughts exactly.
Do we have any idea why they seem to be convening on this tower?
Lamplight sort of steps forward. The little ones whisper that there are dark goings on near the top of this tower, inside its uppermost chamber. Though reports are vague, there are whispers of a black orb or black mass being tended to by a shrouded individual. Aside from that, there isn't much to go off.
So perhaps if we eliminate whatever's on the top of that tower, or eliminate the tower itself, that might buy us more time in our assault on Morning Glory.
Lisa gives a confirming nod. Yes, before we make any sort of move against Morning Glory, we are going to need to take care of that tower. In any hope, destroying whatever's at the top or the tower itself will do away with these eyes ever watching up in the sky and
Do we
putting
even know
us
how to get in there? That was very much a problem the last time.
when the Inquisition attempted to, well, reportedly destroy the tower, they were able enough to get the gates opened. Access to the tower should be as simple as walking through the front door. So what you will find inside is anyone's guess.
And what do we have for troops, I suppose you could say? Do we have a force that can march on this tower, or is this it?
This is unfortunately it. Any troops that we have are currently at a forward base in Everpass. It resides to us to take this tower.
Perhaps I can get us a little bit more assistance, or perhaps not. I don't want to push them too hard, but I did reach out to a potential ally, and they seemed aligned in our endeavors. Please don't judge immediately, but this potential ally was a powerful hag.
Did you fall on your head? Haven't we had enough problems with hags recently?
I did fall on my head. The door was locked. But I think it's worth reaching out. They've never steered me wrong. Honestly, I understand the hesitation to work with them, but
Beggars cannot be choosers, and we are stretched as thin as it is.
Daddy, me, and my enemy, at least temporarily.
What was that?
The enemy of my enemy, at least temporarily.
Indeed.
Exactly my thoughts. And this particular hag resides in the woods just north of Badtown. So,
Oh, that hag.
yes,
The one that stole our souls and sewed them in thread.
we got them back.
You
Isn't she
speak
kind of pissed at us for stealing the children?
you speak of grandmother Sinnoh.
I do. You're acquainted.
I know of her.
Well, I reached out to her earlier today, and she seemed amicable.
Beggars can't be choosers in this dire time, I suppose.
Beggars can't be choosers, and walking into the maw of a monster is something completely different.
The enemy of my enemy, as they say.
Yet that's a very silly tale that doesn't always benefit you or work in your
Not-
favor.
We have a common goal. Temporarily, even.
In my experience, hags are very valuable friends.
Yeah.
Debatable, but still.
We're willing to believe that if we didn't, steal the children she wanted from under her nose.
She didn't
It thoroughly
seem.
piss her off.
She didn't seem too upset about that.
Oh, Mia, people lie.
Well, yes, but
Unless Kimmick's there standing, we don't know.
fair. But I mean, this is kind of a, destruction of the continent or temporarily side with a hag type of thing. I mean, you all know at this point, my own mother is a hag, and although she has a mighty temper, she's not evil per se.
Right.
Just a little
My
morally
concern-
gray.
My concern is not how evil they might be. The concern is that we crossed this one already.
We did, but I mean, she knows just as well as we do that Brightscale would just wipe her out if he had the means. So it's in her best interest to work with us, and it's in our best interest to work with her.
Not so much opposed as to working with her, more concerned about what we're going to do the moment we achieve our goal, because at that exact moment, she can turn.
You're not wrong, but I mean, the same thing could be said about any of us.
Fair enough.
Really, the second we save our land, you're gonna betray the entire continent for your evil schemes?
I have no intention to, but just because I say that doesn't necessarily mean that you believe it, right?
Okay, duly noted. Mia has evil schemes she's gonna betray us for.
Funny.
I
Not the
don't
member of the group I
intend
thought would.
My schemes are not evil.
Wizard
They're
schemes? Yeah, that
productive.
sounds about right.
A little questionable, maybe, but not evil.
Would you speak to her, reach out to her? Maybe we could work something.
Yes, if it's something that you're willing to entertain, I'd be more than happy to reach out to her again and tell her what our goal is.
Against my better judgment, I think that may be a good idea.
Agreed.
If they feel like we have a common enemy and is willing to have a truce, I don't see why not. Friends are very scarce for us.
Yeah.
I mean, that's always been the case.
Yes, when I say us, I do the collective group because obviously we, points to me and Alani, don't have friends. Many, anyway.
Yeah. Yuriko's gonna storm out of the observatory and head to the bar.
Okay.
I fear I'm failing in my endeavor to gain her kinship.
Enough, that was the one I thought that would betray us all at some point.
Her
You may would do it on accident.
mistrust is well placed. I mean, the hags of this continent aren't really known for their, well, being very cordial or assisting.
Hags do have a certain reputation that they have certainly earned, but
I can't
they
say
can
that
be
the
very
church.
helpful.
I can't say that the church's actions haven't aided in steering them towards a more hostile action.
Precisely.
It's not that we don't understand Mirka's hesitation. I share in the same. I really wish we didn't have to. I think we should have a contingency plan in place, but I also agree that we can't afford not to.
As you're having this conversation, Mia, you feel a bit of tugging on your robe. As you can see a singular blue thread sort of unravel from the base and kind of like fall to the ground. And then there's like a soft like chill that goes through the air as people can see these long like wooden like claws sort of like clasp over Mia's shoulder as coming out from behind her, almost as if like forming out of her robe is this massive, like well over 8 foot tall, almost doll-like being. As Sinnoh pulls herself out of your robe and just like sits to rest behind you. I was only waiting for an invitation.
Sinnoh, it was quite an entrance.
I apologize for the subterfuge, but I've had my eye on you since you left my hut. I was able to sew a little bit of myself into that robe of yours.
Interesting. Very interesting ability.
I am
Additional trail.
I am a wonder with thread.
That you are. Welcome to our home. I do wish it was under better circumstances, but I am happy to have you here nonetheless.
She stands up and just begins to like slowly lumber around the room as she's taking in the sights of the observatory. My, the help has been busy. My hat's off to you and your friends for constructing such a lovely home.
It's a labor of love.
As any home should be. Now, let's get to the elephant in the room. You need not worry. Your doom and your demise are thoughts of the past. Water under the bridge. Water
right?
under the bridge,
Yes.
bygones be bygones, and all of that.
Is she telling
You
the truth?
see?
Yes, she is.
Okay.
And like as you look at her with that eye, her head just kind of like whirls around like 180 degrees and looks at you.
Oh, that's creepy.
As the rest of the body turns, and she's like sort of crawls to you, just like really like invading that personal bubble. She's like just like looking at your eye.
Can I help you?
The Blessed One. Interesting.
Look familiar.
Oh, only the truly gifted are given that. He just like sort of reels back a little bit and begins to look at the rest of the group. But no, know that everything I say is the truth. And while we may have not always seen eye to eye, we both have a common enemy at the moment. I cannot leave my home. My children cannot leave. We are prisoners. Of this I cannot abide.
And you were right about the eyes gathering at the tower. I didn't realize you had meant that obsidian tower, but our Lunarian friend here has confirmed it.
I was trying to be vague just in case someone was listening in.
Understandable. But it seems our goal now is to eliminate either the tower itself or whatever rests atop it. We won't be able to assault Morning Glory without doing that first.
A good idea.
I may have a
power source.
I may have the means to allow you to slip through undetected.
Oh?
Maybe get into the tower without the eyes seeing you. From my observation so far, they only seem to notice the living.
And you're suggesting...
moving your essence.
Explains why Moonin was unharmed.
As she kind of like holds open the cloak, and you can see the wooden marionette body underneath. On the inside of the inside of the robe, you see four perfectly crafted, or not four, but perfectly crafted dolls of each of you. I will admit I originally had nefarious purposes in mind for these, but it seems they can serve a use other than that. I can carry your essence through these until we get to the tower. Once in the tower, I can release it. And you should be able to assault it on your merry time.
And how do we become released from these forms when we choose to do so?
I would have to release you, as I would be the one carrying the thread. You would still be able to freely move around, but for the lack of better term, you would be husks.
It is one way to get in.
What exactly would happen to our bodies during all this?
Your bodies would still move and still react, but for all intensive purposes, as a husk, you are technically undead, so the eyes wouldn't pay you any mind.
I could have Moonin out to help. It is an undead raven after all. Be the eyes, at least.
The downside is that those of you with magical talents would not be able to tap into them while in this state.
Of course. And how then would we still be able to communicate then and speak?
Yes,
if we were to ask to be released.
Simple actions, simple thoughts. Anything of that matter would still be under your control.
Wouldn't the anti-scrying spells just be easier? The anti-scrying necklaces or whatever it is that we're getting?
As Damon shakes his head, I'm not going to have them all ready in enough time for us to be able to. put them
What if
to
I
use.
could help with that?
He kind of like looks at you, and how exactly would you help?
The other day I found this random card. Might be helpful.
Here's the thing, though, Nalani. Is that if we are patient with this one, would at least give, well, this one time to continue his work while we attempt to storm the castle, as it were. And then hopefully by the time we come back, when it's time to go towards morning glory, then we will have those in time. I'm hoping.
Look.
It looks over at Damon like, bitch, you better work.
You know how I feel about the undead.
I do.
I don't exactly want my body that way.
You wouldn't be a rotting corpse, dear. It's just
Doesn't matter.
it's a semantic point of view.
Look, I don't touch dead bodies. That includes my own.
It would be a way for us to get past, though, without using precious resources.
But if we could have the necklaces ready in time, wouldn't that be a better option?
We wouldn't have the necklaces ready in time unless you're using that card, and in that case, I don't know what that card does.
The problem is, though, she did say it's undead. The necklaces just protect us from scrying. We would still be alive. We'd still be
That's my point.
detectable.
If there was one of those physical creatures that saw us, well, they'd see us.
And Sinnoh nods. Yes, it may prevent scrying, but your friends do bring up a good point. They may not scry when they try to detect you. It may be your life. That life force inside of you is what may be drawing them.
Then why haven't they swarmed the house?
That is a good question.
The house was under some supernatural means to begin with. Perhaps it is still protected.
I've noticed that they haven't tried to break into my home either. Anyone indoors seems to be fine. They have to be outside for them to notice.
What about our carriage? Wouldn't that work? Horses are technically dead. We'll be inside the carriage.
That is a fair point, though we would briefly be outside when entering and exiting the carriage.
Not to
The
mention
trip
if
itself would be inside, though.
Not to mention if you run into any hostilities and would need to exit the otherwise protective carriage.
Kamek does put a finger up, goes, there is a small flaw into that theory, however. I went into a house where someone was hiding inside, and the creature smashed through the windows and took their soul. I don't know if magic beckons them or something else,
Maybe
but
it
they
followed
do
them,
still
that person
get
was outside.
inside.
Is this that same creature that you mentioned? Like, you were looking at yourself through it?
Yes,
Type thing?
same one.
Do you think maybe it only went inside because you were inside and it saw what you saw?
That was a theory I was thinking of, although there is a way to test it, I suppose, but do we want to risk it?
And then again, leads us back to why haven't they attacked us here?
True, if it is because of me, then we would have been attacked. So I was thinking, well, magic has been used here as well, and not, so a lot of variables that kind of muddle the theory. But it is capable of smashing its way indoors. I just don't know what the trigger is. But for now, we're safe inside. For now.
Sounds like we have a few different options for getting to this tower. It's just a matter of deciding which one to go with. I'm inclined to side with Sinnoh on this, but I don't make decisions for the group, so everyone's input is valuable here.
I can only promise that nothing bad will happen to you from my doing. Now, if you...
As I said, we could run into trouble. If we run into trouble and those that can't use magic can't do anything, that's also going to be a problem.
I may have a way through that. As seeing as if I were to hold on to your essences, you would technically be bound to me. Thus, you should be able to technically travel the way I travel. All we would need is a bit of fabric out near the tower. And everything else should work.
Moomin perhaps can assist with that.
We just need to get there, right?
We just need to... Yes, you just need to make it to the tower. And then do whatever you need to do inside to take care of it.
Can we just teleport there?
That comes with certain risks.
If you've been there before, it's much easier. If you haven't, well, that's the tricky part.
The tower may also be protected. May be warded from teleportations, from preventing unwelcome guests. Teleporting into a sealed area is always so messy.
I wonder if this happened before. There was this ritual that, if we got this far the last time.
The last time?
This is not the first civilization the Pretenders attacked.
Interesting.
Give me a second. And Nalai's going to kind of zone out for a moment as she tries to reach out to Kai to see if he has any information on what's going on, to see if he knows of any type of ritual or this black orb thing.
And like you barely have to even focus as you begin to look in. Kai, you can like pretty much see him standing next to you, his arms just folded as he's like taking in the entire conversation. Wasn't like this when we encountered this pretender. So that's because his whispers got into my ear. Took him for some sort of grand being. A god that would lead our people into glory, and only offered to spell my demise and the shattering of our peoples.
So either didn't get this far into his plan, or...
Never seen the sky turn into eyes.
Well, that's good to know it's new, at least. Do you have any input on this mode of travel?
No, you keep on mentioning that card. About that wish thing that you got the other day?
Yeah.
Well,
I only want to use them if I have to, but...
Why not wish just for a means to travel there safely? Simple enough wish. Open a portal from here to there. Walk through, kick ass, take names.
I like that idea. That might work. And as her eyes refocus, on the group in front of her. But Kai did point out there might be a good way to travel there using the card I got.
And what of any forces or anything to prevent us from even teleporting there can be guaranteed?
I think it's all in how you word it.
Well, then you better write it down first.
That's why I'm thinking maybe one of you two with the
Not it.
smarter
Bad experiences.
people should
I
do
was
that.
just gonna say, not Mia. We learned what happened last time.
That wasn't Mia's fault. But then again, we also don't know if these came from the same entity, so... Maybe have it in mind before we are prepared? Maybe I should just do it myself.
Well, and what is the game plan for when we get there? Just hope for the best. Suppose there's no
Take
way to
names?
figure out what's inside. I mean, that's not actually a plan, but there's literally no info to go off of, so head on a swivel, as it were. Any thoughts on this, Azure Claw?
All are good options, but safest way, even though undesirable, might be the best.
Undesirable as in the undead route.
Yes.
I mean, I deal with undead frequently in the past, so I'm not opposed to either one. I just don't know how everyone else feels. I know Nilani is uncomfortable traveling underground since all the catacombs and whatnot.
But
I can deal with the
need-
catacombs a lot better than turning into an undead and being drug across. No.
that need to all agree on option.
Indeed.
So,
Besides, we don't even know if we're all going.
so what I am hearing is we thankfully have a multitude of options on traveling. You can take my way and put your essences into these dolls temporarily. There's the possibility of teleportation, or
Teleportation.
using Nolani's card.
Teleportation has high risk of death.
Indeed, I would say, would be the most plausible to end in a bloody outcome.
Might end up in wall.
Might end up the wall. Sinnoh kind of like turns and looks over at Nolani. The young man with you. One seemingly staring at me in a very disapproving manner. He mentioned, portal. That could work. Not necessarily teleportation, more like a door.
Is safer when you can see other side.
I can then give you... I can weave some of my fabric into your clothing. It will mask you only for a few moments, but should give you enough time to get into the front door. You're muted.
Assuming the door's just left open.
Assuming as much.
I don't know if I was holding a ritual on top of a tower. I wouldn't leave the front door unlocked.
So some of you here look strong enough to kick a door in.
Indeed, don't underestimate the Raven.
Just full of jokes today, aren't you?
I was actually being serious. It's small bird, much might. Is this the whole natural jokester thing happening again?
It is.
I don't even realize I'm doing it now. Fascinating.
It's a curse.
It's a curse. Oh God. I would like to use cure curse on me.
I remove
curse.
I remove curse to get rid of my sense of humor.
Well, I think we need to make preparations.
Indeed.
I suppose we should also decide what we're going to do once we get there. Is this a climb the tower and eliminate what's at the top of it type of scenario, or is it a bring the whole tower down type of scenario?
Why not both? Eliminate to make sure they're gone, and then bring the tower down so no one else can use it.
Lisa kind of steps forward. The reports that we got about the tower, the original plan was to take it down, that an outer assault would be timely and cost a lot of resources, as the stones themselves were of a make and cut that we were unable to identify. Your best bet, I believe, would be taking down whatever it is inside and maybe bringing it down that way.
I suppose if all else fails, Kemek does have a very large bomb in their bag. So we can call that like Plan C or Plan D.
Big, huge grin across their face.
Aren't they always grinning?
I always have a way. Yes. I always have a way to avoid this, but that helps me, not everyone else.
Well, if it does come down to that, hopefully it doesn't, because big explosion generally a bad thing. But if it does come down to that, as long as we're all relatively close to each other, I can probably teleport us out. You're muted.
Sorry. We could always have the stone. We have our teleportation stones come here. We could always come back here and have Kemek be the last one through.
I did think about that, but those do take a minute to actually activate. And if this
Well,
bomb is about to go off, a minute is a very long time.
Depends on the plan we have. Again, if the bomb goes off, I have a way to avoid injury myself, but if we can have some sort of distraction or whatnot to buy us that time. Unfortunately, I lack that level of power to actually quite literally buy you that time. But for now, that is another option.
Yes, again, a Plan C or Plan D or, somewhere far down the line if we can't deal with whatever is in there personally.
Again, it's going to be a mystery regardless. The only thing we can do is do somewhat of a perimeter check with Moonin. But Of course, that doesn't necessarily help us inside. Although it could, depending on how aggressive anything is in there. Could buy us a little bit of time, but again, only a little bit.
So it sounds then like the plan is to maybe create a portal, then use Sinnoh's threads to hide us briefly when we go through the portal so we can get into the tower. And we make our way to the top and put a stop to whatever's going on up there.
The only problem is, as much as most of us are not entirely opposed to it, it seems that we are a bit outnumbered, Mia, as I'm sure 3 members of this little group prefers the other method. Not speaking for the others, but voicing their opinions and assuming the third.
That is a fair point, actually. Yuriko should probably be here, although when given the option, have your essence taken by a hag or go through a portal, I know she doesn't like either of them. I feel like she would probably more lean towards go through a portal.
Really? Because she didn't go through a portal last time. She
No,
seems to not trust
she
anything,
didn't.
period.
But again, when the alternative is have your essence taken by a hag, I feel like she might lean towards the portal. Maybe. I don't know. She's been hard to read lately. She's been shutting me out. It's very hurtful. I just want to give her a hug.
I don't think she's the hugging type.
We'll get there.
She might object to that too.
We'll get
Hug
there.
people often?
I have
No.
yet to see it happen. I'm hoping I'll be the first.
Good luck with that.
I will gouge my eye out if I see that happen.
I'll hold you to that.
And then uses a time spell to reverse it. But I did it! Oh, higher level I can do that. Anyway, not today. Well, if you want to propose the theory, you can, but I am afraid the decision might already be there before us, Mia, of how we need to get there.
If someone would like to maybe go get Yuriko, I don't think she would come if I requested it.
Why, you want to hug her?
Well, I think yes, but I think she should be a part of this discussion as well.
She doesn't think so. She stormed out.
It seems to be a thing she does often, but she should be here regardless. Oh, also, whoever goes to retrieve her, please let her know that Sinnoh is here so she doesn't get startled when she walks through the door.
Oh, I was just gonna sit down.
Wait, didn't she leave after Sinnoh appeared? Or was it before Sinnoh appeared?
No, it was before.
Oh, it was
Sinnoh
before.
appeared.
Oh, God. Oh. What was it that you said earlier, Mia? Ah, yes, not it.
Azurclaw, how wonderful of you to volunteer.
Azurclaw, not diplomat.
Yeah, I think this one's on you.
Kel, seemingly just, jumps up out of his seat, almost bored of this entire situation. I'll go talk to her. I got nothing I'm doing.
Wonderful.
Plan seems to be, already formulated.
Maybe explain options to her on way? Possibly?
Sure. spooky
luck.
way, instant way. Yeah, I got this. Sort of leaves the
Kel has the distinctly lower register voice, right?
yeah.
Okay, because that's how she would distinguish between the two of them.
Yep. Damon is a bit more eloquent and a little more soft spoken. Kel is a little louder. He sort of walks down and finds you at the bar and very nonchalantly, almost as like he's like known you for years, just walks up and clasps you on the shoulder.
She looks at him. All right, so he's the more gruff one. So
yeah,
this is the fighter.
This is the one that Nolani like regularly beats the shit out of for fun.
She'll pour him a shot and push it over to him while she pours herself a shot, and she takes a shot.
He takes a shot as well. So they're formulating plans up there, and they kind of need your input. Looks like there's two plans.
Traveling, two plans.
Two plans on the table right now that sort of makes sense. One is kind of spooky, and I wouldn't really want to do it myself, but it's letting the hag put your life essence into a doll so you're not detected as you travel. That's creepy as all hell. No. I'm totally in agreement with that one. No. And the other one is apparently Nolani can open portals, which is news to me.
When she says that, like, she just drops her head onto like the bar top, and she goes, "Not one of Piper's portals."
No, not one of Piper's portal. Piper isn't even involved in this one. Apparently some guy that's standing next to her but nobody can see suggested the idea, and kind of makes sense. You open a door, you go through it, you don't really run the risk of teleporting and splatting into a wall. But they wanted your input before they did anything.
And we're positive this is something your uncle's got his hands into. No offense. I don't want to make it seem like... I mean, I don't know your uncle. I can't say I dislike him.
He's a little shady, I'll give you that. But you know what sort of businessman is. But no, this isn't one of Piper's. If it was Piper's, there would be a lot more pizzazz and flair in it. He likes to give everything the old razzle dazzle.
I can do with a lot less razzle dazzle these days.
Nope, this is, as far as I can tell, just straight up Nolani using a portal.
Nolani has some time with magic. I mean, she is the queen of the... Yeah, I mean, I still haven't been told everything that's happening with her, but I guess that's need to know information, and I don't need to know.
She said something about a card she found the other day, and it being able to do something like this.
And you're sure it's not one of Piper's cards, just conveniently left around?
No, this wasn't a business card. None of his cards that I know of just let people open portals willy-nilly.
Interesting. I know you're not the magic one, but is there like card magic? Is that a thing?
Yeah, there's card magic. It's, again, very flashy. I've seen a couple people in Arcastus do it. They store all their spells and cards and throw them at people.
Yeah, well, I guess as long as it's not having to do anything with the abyss or the hells, I'm okay with that.
No hells or abysses as far as I know.
Alright, well, let's get this over with. And she pours us another shot. And she gestures with the bottle towards his glass to see if he wants another one.
Oh, he happily takes it.
Alright, she pours him a shot. And shall we? And she takes a shot.
And he takes a shot as well and begins to head back up there with you. Oh, just a heads up, there's some really big doll lady in there as well. So,
Are you fucking kidding me?
she just appeared out of Mia's clothes. That was a little weird. But she promises that she's not here to harm any of us, and Chemic's Eye said that she wasn't lying, so.
I mean, she's not trying to hurt us at the moment. Oh,
Take what you can get.
I am too sober for this shit. All right. She just slaps herself on the face and she just heads back towards the observatory.
The two of you head back up there and walk in. You walk in with Kel in tow, and you can see Sinnoh sort of like off to the side over by Nolani, sort of trying to make herself a little more diminished so her body isn't looming over everybody as much, so it just looks like a giant hunched over doll.
Opposite,
yeah, total opposite effect of what she's trying to intend. But
yeah, I right now I don't want to be near either her or Mia. I'm just gonna find a back wall against the stained glass and just sit in the chair. I'm presuming there's stained glass in the observatory.
yeah.
Okay.
Like the base glass of the observatory dome is a bit of stained glass. Kel walks by Nolani and he whispers to her. She seems to be more in favor of the portal than creepy doll way.
Good. 'Cause I wasn't planning on the creepy doll way anyway.
Yeah, no thank you.
So Yuriko's gonna go. Apparently, Nolani learns some type of card magic.
It might be magic. I don't know. But sometimes I find it best not to question the way these things work.
Well, as long as it's not one of Piper's cards, I'm not opposed. It's not one of Piper's cards, right?
As far as I know.
Okay.
I don't know. Didn't look like the cards we had before.
Well, that's my vote. I like my essence being where it is.
Sounds like we have a course of action then.
Does anyone need to make preparations before we leave?
I'm confused, but all right. No, I've packed everything up.
You know, Kel and I here chomp at the bit to get out of here. I'm pretty sure we have everything we need.
Oh, I'm sure. Wait. He's coming with us.
Why?
Well,
What? You're coming with, right?
Yeah,
Smash some heads?
I'm not gonna sit here and do nothing. No, my brother might be happy with that, but no, you guys are going to bash some heads. I want in.
I just assumed.
Swear to God, if you get my other character's child killed, Gilatam,
Look, I'm not the one that made him restless.
Ash will hunt you down.
Look,
The whole family will hunt you down.
as long as Gilatam doesn't have to do any rolls on his behalf, he should be safe.
That will
Fair.
not stop the family.
Look, we got wish spells. We can bring him back. It's fine.
When me, the player, would totally use that crystal to bring him back, but the character does not give a shit. Womp womp. Ugh.
Now, are we intending on departing immediately, or do we still have time to do some more work?
The sooner the better. We don't know exactly how far up anything has escalated in Morning Glory, but with it being consumed by perpetual nights, we can assume that it's nothing good.
We also don't know how far along this ritual is in the tower. The sooner we wrap, the better.
What time of day is it right now, Rojan?
It's night at the moment. You all
Okay.
you all convened like right as the sun set.
Would it be better to go at night or when there is light?
The eyes in my observation don't really seem to sleep, so either way, they're going to be up there.
Well, unless something really important needs to happen, we can go now or first thing in the morning after we've rested. That's entirely up to you, but I'm ready to go whenever.
Azure-Claw, you were working closely with Abigail. Do you think she would be able to produce some of those special inks on her own?
We understand process and made good documentation. No reason she couldn't.
Well, perhaps I will go see her briefly and set her on that task, and then I'll be ready to go tonight if we want to.
Just if ink is done improperly, could turn you into bomb.
That does seem to be the case with a lot of my work recently. I hate to say I'm getting used to it, but
I'm getting used to exploding.
I'm kind of getting used to it.
That's not a good thing.
Well, it's only going to get worse, I'm afraid, with what I have planned. But that's a bridge that I'll hopefully cross in one piece when I come to it.
Just do not die again.
I'm trying not to.
So the blueprint for the weapon that I have, do I have to take it to someone to make it, or is that like a manifestation?
It's a manifestation,
like,
but I need to read through what you sent me before I give the thumbs
all
up
right,
on that.
Cool. I figured I couldn't get an artifact. It's definitely legendary level. I just don't know if you'll allow for what I picked.
I'll read through and I'll let you know.
Right.
All right.
So
Yeah.
I'm gonna go see Abigail real quick.
Okay.
Artifacts are broken.
But they're artifacts.
And you go down to the workshop, and Abigail is toiling away at making more of the making the ink and everything. You can see there's like a couple like singe marks along like the work table where like a couple of the attempts had like sputtered off, and like there was like mild fire, but nothing that would completely damage anything.
Hard at work, I see.
Oh, no rest for the wicked.
Well, in that vein, I do have a task for you if you are satisfied with the procedures you've created up to this point?
Well, it's been about 60-40, I would say. She kind of motions over to like two different not beakers, but two different rows of vials. That side produced nothing. It's just pretty much useless ink. So these ones over here seem to be holding steady.
It's a better outcome than I had thought we were going to get, so I'm satisfied. If you're confident in your abilities to produce more of this, we have a job that we're going to be out doing. Hopefully won't take us more than a day or two. But would you mind staying here and producing more of this ink for me?
I don't see why not. With those eyes in the sky, there's really no place I can go at the moment.
Wonderful. And, as far as payment goes...
We'll talk about payment later.
Perfect. Music to my ears. We're probably going to be heading out tonight, so I suppose, just create as much as you can, as much as you're willing to, and we'll sort the rest out when we get back.
I will do my best.
I appreciate it. And I will head back to the observatory, but on my way back, I'm going to pull out that very special Vizier card that I have.
Okay.
This is where all of this work gets real fun. I'm going to hold up that very special Vizier card. And I'm going to speak aloud my question for this card. And I'm going to say, how do I create an arcane sigil that can be used as a conduit to siphon Ession's stolen celestial essence and return it back to the celestial plane? Now, this is magic that I went back into that memory of mine to study, and I learned that it was not magic that could be handled by mortals. But this Vizier card was also a very special one that would give me knowledge beyond what a normal one does. So I'm hoping that this will connect those dots for me.
So you see the Vizier card sort of light up and then catch a flame as the vapor from the burning card sort of goes up and through your nostrils as you get just this spark of inspiration and knowledge rushing through your mind as you see that a ritual such as this requires strong intent, a massive focus of arcane power, and an equal sacrifice. So, as all this information is going through your head, you get the image of Veteran's book. As it opens to a very specific page. And it reveals a very dark and twisted ritual meant to capture large amounts of life essence. A level 10 necromantic spell.
Hamana what?
Mm-hmm.
Good lord, no, not a level 100 spell. I don't want any part of that.
Oh,
Yeah,
God.
roll for survival on a level 100 spell.
Good god, no.
That doesn't even exist.
Okay. When all of that happens, it's gonna stop her in her tracks as she was kind of walking back to the observatory as she did this, and just like braces herself on the wall for a minute and gathers herself and processes all this, and just kind of puts a hand on that book that's in her book harness on her side and lets out a deep breath, calms herself down because she's incredibly excited by this information. Does her best to make herself look completely normal and not like a kid that's just been given $100 and released in a candy store. And she's gonna walk back into the observatory.
Okay. And as you all gather up, getting ready to move forward with the next phase of your plan, that is where we are going to stop for this week. We give you guys a little bit of time to figure out how exactly you want to word the wish in order to open that portal. And it gives me time to look over Azarin's weapon. But for now, that is where we are going to leave off
Oh lordy.
with Monday's game.
So much pressure.
But this is not the only show that we do, as we have a whole slew of shows throughout the week. On alternating Tuesdays, unfortunately not this week, is our Star Wars game of Tales of the Out of Rim run by Tiltbot. Though on this upcoming Thursday is the return of Mass Effect Horizons, which is a 5th edition.
Tomorrow's Star Wars.
Is it? I thought you guys played
Yeah.
last week.
No.
I'm not the only one that's crazy and thought it was that way.
Gilly's character died.
It wasn't last week, apparently.
Apparently.
Wasn't it?
It was.
I thought it was.
Was it?
Yeah.
It was.
It was.
And I tried to kill
What?
2 characters in 1 week.
Yeah.
I thought it was
Why
two.
did we play
could
on
be
a week I
crazy.
have my kid? That's how I remember when we don't have it. What?
Someone look through the history.
Okay, anyway, maybe we'll have it tomorrow. Maybe like some of us are crazy.
Sorry.
Either way, some of us are crazy, but on the Tuesdays that it is played, we have Tales of the Outer Rim, which is a Star Wars game run by Tiltbot. On this upcoming Thursday is the return of Mass Effect Horizons, which is a 5th edition mod Mass Effect game that Zorro runs. On the alternate Thursdays is Tricorn Isles, which is a 5th edition High Seas adventure game that I run. On this upcoming Saturday is Wayward Wanderers. No, I'm sorry, Withered Wastes. Yes,
So,
Withered Wastes.
I think
Yes.
most of us have lost our minds. The last Star Wars game was 13 days ago.
It was
Yeah,
2
we've
weeks
lost
ago. I
our-
just saw the message was on the 16th, and I'm like, okay, I'm not crazy.
Okay,
Yeah, we
so,
just lost
we're
our minds and lost
we just
track of time.
Yeah,
Because what else is going to
plague.
happen to us in January?
It's the
This was a
plague.
blur.
Yeah,
It
so
was just a
wormholes.
huge blur.
Saturday we have
Wormhole.
another episode of Withered Wastes, which is a 5th edition game that I run. And then on the alternate Saturdays is Wayward Wanderers, which is a Pathfinder 2 Extinction Curse campaign run by Azarin. Every last Saturday of the month is our new show of Would Be Heroes, that's what it's called, which is a modified version of Kids on Bikes that is loosely based around old school comic heroes, but what if the powers were given to a bunch of high school students? And then on the first Saturday of every month is our lore show of Behold Lore, which is coming up this Saturday, actually. on the 3rd, which I believe we're having both Azern and Gilly on to talk about their characters from campaign 2. So that should be interesting.
Yay.
And per personal request, because Mom Life, it will not be at our usual 5:30. It's going to be at 8:30.
Makes sense.
Sorry.
Makes
Yes.
sense.
How dare
So-
you?
How
I mean,
dare you be mothers?
We can talk about exactly what time, but Kate goes to bed at like 7.
Yeah, that's
so-
fine. No, yeah, like
Yeah, that's fine. We can
start
do it
time.
even 8 o'clock.
Yeah, start time
Yeah.
is. We'll announce that in Discord and on Twitter. And
Yeah.
also, if this is your first time here, all of our shows are recorded and put on YouTube for your viewing pleasure at your own leisure. So if this is your first time here, all of our campaigns, all of our one shots, all of like the holiday specials, you can find them all over on our YouTube channel. But for now, we are going to head on out. Thank you so much for tuning in, and we will catch you all tomorrow for more Star Wars. Because apparently I was crazy.
We all were.
We all are. It's fun.
Yeah.
I'm waving.
See you later, everyone.